Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the channel where we question the Bible. If you have a sensitive heart, if you're overly zealous about any of the things that are in the Bible and you feel offended by questioning it, then you come to the wrong channel. But if you do have some questions and you do find it fascinating and think there's some way to get some nuggets of wisdom and spiritual growth from this, then you've come to the right spot. And we are in Genesis chapter 11, verses 8, and this is where we go through the Bible line by line all the way through. So if you have a curiosity about the beginning of Genesis, go back to watch our previous videos. I think they are fascinating. I think you'll find them fascinating too. We're at the point where Jehovah wants to tear down the Tower of Babel. It's pretty interesting. And we're at the section in Genesis chapter 11, verse 8, where Jehovah scatters them. He scatters them, all the people. So he stops them from building a thriving city. To scatter them. That implies that they are going to be destitute. It doesn't say how they're going to have any means of taking care of themselves. Just, I'm scattering you now. I know y'all are all working in conjunction with each other, but I don't think so. The question is, not only does he stop the Tower of Babel, but he stops the functioning city. The question is there something wrong with the city? Is there something wrong with these people gathering in commerce and trade? And it doesn't say. It doesn't say that the city was bad. It just implies that building a structure that's multi-story, going to the heavens, it says, which could mean anything, is bad. But what's wrong with the city? Why scatter all of them? Why do that? So that's the question. Chapter 11, verse 9, it says he scatters them all over the face of the earth. That's fascinating. Because as many of you know, there are similar type architectural structures in every nook and cranny across the earth. Similar pyramids, similar temples, similar just architectural style. It's fascinating. So are there nuggets of truth in this? And the second question is, how did he scatter them? What does that mean? That's a big deal. I mean, did you line up immigration ships? Did you line up something to send them everywhere? How did that work? Did you call as Star Trek did, beam me up, Scotty? Did they just beam them someplace? I mean, it did no explanation once again. And the Bible is littered with these things, which you would know if you've read it cover to cover or if you've listened to any of the previous line by line discussions. Fascinating stuff. Okay, and in Genesis chapter 11, verse 11, it says, Shem, which is one of the three sons of Noah, he has a son at the age of 100. I don't know if I pronounce this right or not. It's Arphaxad. Maybe that's how you say it. But then Shem lives another 500 years after that. The question is, once again, is this yearly count off? Did they use some other type of calendar that we do not use or do not know of today? And was their DNA different? It's fascinating stuff. This is something that just really confuses me. So if any of you scholars out there know this, I would find it fascinating, or have any sort of interesting, plausible theories. In chapter 11 of Genesis, verses 13 through 29, it goes out with this long lineage to establish the bloodline between Shem and Abram. Obviously, Abram is a pretty big figure. So the question is, why is this bloodline so important? Isn't the bloodline just from Noah down? It's confusing. But we're about to go into the story of Abram which I find totally fascinating. If these questions interest you and you find questioning the Bible and every other religious text very valuable and important for your own spiritual growth, for your own understanding, so that you may communicate with others of different faith and shrinking the divide between people, if that matters to you, so you can practice the art of listening to yourself and to others, and to ultimately meditate and communicate with the divine in your own individual way to have a better life, a more rich, full life, then join us. If you're in the local area, we get together every Sunday at 1:15. You can find us at themysticsoftexas.com. And I'm just glad that you're joining. I'm glad that we're getting nice, kind comments and not from zealots of every stripe, because it's important to have an open mind and critical thinking, and without being overly emotional, dive into these subjects because they inevitably affect all of our lives. So with that, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.